whatever the scenario, there is a father or there's no father, the spouses are never excluded from being given a specific portion for themselves when it comes to dividing the inheritance. Mirath, all right? All right, so now we're getting into the thumun part, and we've already talked about this. The only one who gets an eighth is who? The wife or wives. When do they get an eighth? If there is kids, and we've done already. So let's do one last example. Example 5. Okay. Let's do one wife and one son, one daughter. The wife here will be given what? An eighth, because these descendants. The son and the daughter, they're known as العصبات مع الغير. They take the residue together. If there was no son, the daughter would have taken half. Remember we talked about the daughter last week? The daughter would have taken a half. But because the son is there, he's on the same level as the daughter. It's not like the son of a son. It's not like a grandchild. La. The son and the daughter, they're on the same level. So what will they do? The remaining residue, or whatever is remained after the specific or prescribed portion has been given out, the residue is divided amongst them ratio 2:1. So here we will say, we'll just do this. We usually write asaba, tamam, like ayn, residue, okay? Mas'ala is from 8, 1, 7. But there is something here where we have to fix. Mas'alatul awl. And we'll get to it, and I don't want to confuse you now. Because you cannot divide 7 by 2. Can you divide 7 by 2? No. You will get decimals. And in fara'id, we avoid decimals, always. So there's a way of fixing it, so that we get a straight full number. Are we together? Yeah. Can you divide 7 by 3? La. What is 7 times 20? 7 times 8? Do for me. 56. Okay. So once we get to this is mas'alatul awl, mas'alatul rad. We'll get to it later on. That is a more complex. Those are the more complex scenarios. When we get there, you will understand. So once we finish these parts, close the door. Once we finish these parts, you will understand the rest, inshallah. Now we're getting into the other section, which is, or the other module. We have done half, we have done a quarter. What comes after that? An eighth. We have done the eighth also. So today we've already covered up to, alhamdulillah, because it's very short. And it's not complex. Now we're getting into module 4. What was going on? We love technology, but sometimes it messes us up. So, module what? 4. Now we are dividing, we're calculating or talking about the people who are supposed to inherit 2/3. So we start with 2/3, and then we will come to 1/3, and then we will finish with what? A 1/6. So we start with 2/3, Then we come to mas'alat we come to, after 2/3 we come to a third, and then we finish up with a sixth. So module of number 4 is 2/3. Number 1, before we take the issue of dividing the 2/3, we need to know who are supposed to be given these 2/3. And they're not always given 2/3. It changes. Are we together? 2/3. Number 1, there are almost 4, or there are 4 specific categories of people are given 2/3. And this is based on the scenario that is there. Number 1, why is this messing me up here? Salam. Number, or A, multiple daughters. If they are by themselves, for instance, 2, or let's write this, multiple daughters. Here we mean if they're from 2, 3, 4, 5 daughters, if they are by themselves without a brother, like without a son of the deceased person. Do you understand here? So write this thing down. This information is important. 2 or more daughters take a flat 2/3 split. What is going on with my device today? Split between them, provided there are no brothers. There are no brothers around brothers around to convert them into residues, or into residuaries. Into what? Residuaries. My device is messing me up today. Allah understand. I need to get a new one now. Residuaries. Why? If there's brothers over there, it goes back to what? لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ. The brothers will take 2 portions and the daughters will take 1 portions. So for example, you have 2 daughters and 1 son. They will be residuaries, both of them now, because there is a son involved. How many heads will we count? We will count 4 heads, because the son is counted as 2 people, and the daughters are counted as 1. Do you get my point? So if it's 4 million, 2 million will be given to the son and 1 million given to each daughter. Do you understand each other? So the moment now there's no brothers, yani 2, and we have 2 or more daughters, they're given 2/3, practical examples, that's how we usually get it right. So, practical example. We have two daughters, all right? And we have one paternal uncle. When we say paternal uncle, what do we mean? Huh. And why is it important to specify paternal or maternal? The maternal uncle never inherits. Are we together? The brother of your mother never inherits. Yes, abti. Abti wahmal sina. صح ميا؟ صح؟ So the uncle from the mother's side is never given anything. But the ammi is, the paternal uncle is amongst the bil arham. They do get, they do get, no, هم الوارثون من الرجال عفوا. The bil arham are different. They are given, they are always the residues. They don't have a specific amount they're giving to, it's given to them. At some points, in some scenarios, they inherit. In some scenarios, they don't. When there is a father, they don't inherit. When there is a son, they don't inherit. But when there is only daughters, they take the residue. So, for example, we have two daughters and who? A paternal uncle. The two daughters will be given what portion? They'll be given the 2/3. And the uncle and the paternal uncle will be given the residue, which now comes up to what? The mas'ala will be 3 to 1. Are we together? So let's say we are dividing between them 15 million. The girls, the daughters will be given what? 10 million, and the uncle will be given what? 5 million. Do you understand? A scenario, we've taken the scenario when there is only one daughter. When there's only one daughter, the daughter will take a half. Do you understand? When there is more than one daughter and no son, or no brother around to convert them into residues, residuaries, then what happens? نزيد لهم السدس تكملة الثلثين. We add for them a sixth for them to get 2/3. Are we together? Never are the daughters excluded from being given their portion. Never. A daughter is either given a half. If they're more than one, they're given 2/3 if there's no son present to turn them to be residuaries. Or if there is a son, they will all become residuaries. So there's 3 scenarios. One, when the daughter is by herself, she gets her half. There's no son, let's say. She gets her half. Nobody should exclude the daughter. Unfortunately, we have situations that in our society, current society that we have these days, some men have taken advantage of not giving their sisters the inheritance. Oh, she's married to a wealthy man. So what? Give her her portion. It's her haqq. Why don't you give it to her? Why are you holding her from not getting her haqq that she has to be given, and it's a must? In several cases I've received, the brothers have now decided that we want to be the sole inheritors, the heirs. Or they know that the sister has to be given, their own sister has to be given a specific portion, but they won't give her because she's either married to someone, she's not so much part of maybe the business of the father or something. So they think that we have our way around and we can take advantage of the situation. And this all goes back to what we talked about. When you have, when you are greedy, you want to take more than what you're supposed to be given. Do you understand? Or sometimes, in some cases, maybe the brothers are older brothers and there is younger sisters. They exclude the younger sisters. It's okay, we will take care of them. No, but keep for them their portion. If the father passed away while your sisters were young and they're supposed to be given certain millions, save it for them. And if it's needed to take care of them, their financial needs, you can use it from their money, but use it very carefully. Don't just misuse it. You understand my point here is? So in these scenarios, many sisters don't get their portion of inheritance because of greedy brothers. People who have no iman and have greed in front of them, and they forget there is akhirah tomorrow. And even adults are doing this to their adult sisters, which is a very sad thing. If she dies and she's not pleased with whatever you have done, you have taken a haqq, she stands in front of Allah, you will have to pay with your good deeds in the day of Qiyamah. Yeah, Sheikh, that's not a small thing. So as a brother, if your father has passed away or your mother, and there is something to be inherited amongst you as siblings, give the portion of your siblings to them and get out of the problem that is going to occur in your life. And most of the times, look at this closely, whichever brother who tries to take everything and seclude the sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets him enjoy until he reaches a point that he feels like nothing can stop me. That's when the strike comes. Do you understand? They go bankrupt, or the money is finished in hospitals, and they end up being seen as beggars because of what they have done to their sisters. Do you understand my point here? Doesn't matter. Your sister is married to a wealthy person. He's a multimillionaire. But she's not a multimillionaire, man. She's married to someone. The wealth is for the husband. And why are you looking at whom she got married to? That means, do you have hasad in your heart, or what is it as a brother? It doesn't make sense. Oh, she's driving a big car. So what? Give her 10 million, even if it's little to you, that you feel like, let me just keep it, there's no need. That is fire that you're keeping with yourself. When you ingest the same wealth, and you give your children the same, you feed them with the same money, you are giving them something to ingest that is fire. Especially, for example, the people who are aitam, the younger ones. إن الذين يأكلون أموال اليتامى ظلما إنما يأكلون في بطونهم نارا. Indeed, those who are eating or who are consuming the wealth of the orphans are indeed consuming fire in their stomach. So it's not a small thing. Are we together? I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst those who will not take anyone's haqq. Ameen. Daud, you cannot put it in portrait? Then do it. No, you can maintain YouTube the way it is, Amma. I mean, let's just, can you reverse it immediately? Because I'm wasting a lot of space, and it's not used well here. Oh, so, okay. And what about then in YouTube? Can you fix the YouTube one so that it shows the way it was showing before? You can do it with your laptop. Hey, just keep it the way it was. So we've talked about the multiple daughters. Yeah. We've said she's never blocked, and we've divided the wealth between 2 daughters and 1 paternal uncle. This is a scenario when they're getting 2/3. The second or the second group of people who get 2/3, we can say B, because the first one we wrote A, right? Al-jam'u min banatil ibn. We can say agnatic granddaughters. Okay? Agnatic granddaughters. What we mean by this? These are the daughters of the son. Granddaughters from, we talked about it last week, if you remember. The only grandchildren who inherit are the ones who come from the lineage of who? The father. They continue inheriting if the grandfather, the father died, father was alive, there was grandfather, then the father died, and nobody was left except the grandkids, and then the grandfather dies, it goes to the grandchildren. But from which lineage? The lineage of the sons. The daughters, they inherit from their father's side. Do you understand? We talked about it like this. We said this is the grandfather. Grandfather, okay? Father. No, let's say grandfather is up there. Then we wrote Ahmed, Khadija. Okay? And then Salim. All of them have what? Kids. So we have Rahim here, we have Ilyas, and we have Salim. Okay? The ones who are going to inherit, if these ones are not there and the grandfather comes to pass away, are these grandchildren, not Salim. Why? Because Salim is connected or is related to the grandfather through the daughter. When we talk about grandkids, that means the kids are not there. The grandkids are the ones alive now. But Salim's father is someone else from a different family. Do you understand my point here? So that's why the grandkids are only included if they come from what? The lineage of the sons. Because if we include them here, that means they're getting here and there, in their father's side, and they're getting from the mother's side the same portions, which will not be fair. Are we together here? Good. Hi. So now here, when we talk about agnatic granddaughters, this is the son's daughter. The son's daughter. Which I mean the granddaughter from the son's lineage, the girls, okay? They're the ones who are given 2/3 if, look at the scenario here. The sons, when we put apostrophe, remember this, that means the daughters belong to the sons, okay? So the son's daughters, step into the 2/3 share only if left, afwan. the son's daughter step into the 2/3 share only if the deceased left behind no direct children. No direct children or higher grandsons. Because if there is other grandsons from the lineage of the father, from the lineage of the brothers, meaning they'll become residuals already. Do you understand? And if this is the scenario, and this is very important, please pay attention here, so that tomorrow if you're asked about this case is very much common in our society, in the Muslim society, okay? Grandfather. Before we get to the practical examples of this, we have a grandfather. He has 3 kids. We go back to Khadija, and then he has Ahmed, and then he has Salim. Okay? Let's call the grandfather Rahim. I'm looking for short names so that I can just fit and we write it quickly. Alright? The grandfather is alive. The children are alive. The direct kids of this grandfather, this old man, they're all alive. Time goes by, or before we go forward, Salim has Siraj and Ahmed as his kids. Ahmed has Dawood and Altaf, who is sleeping. He's gone, huh? Khadija has Salim. These are grandkids, right? To who? To Rahim. Years pass by, alhamdulillah, they're all alive. But Salim dies while the grandfather is still alive. Salim dies while the grandfather is still alive. Who is the one in Afwan? Salim's portion, him, will be divided amongst his kids, and if he has a wife, plus the grandfather. The brothers will not inherit because he has kids, right? That is not our case. That is not what we want to focus on. We want to focus on this, the wealth of Rahim, the grandfather. If the grandfather died now, after the death of Salim, the ones inheriting is Khadija and Ahmed only. These 2 kids will not inherit from their grandfather because their father died before his father, his own father. Do you understand my point here now? In case now, Ahmed is not here, okay? Ahmed is not here. We only have Khadija. Khadija is the only daughter. She'll get what? A half, and then the rest will be divided amongst what? The grandkids. Are we together here now? Is it clearly understood? But mind you, again, let's talk about when the grandfather dies, Ahmed also passes away. Are we together? But Ahmed passes away after his father died, not before his father. He is still an inheritor from the father's estate. If they did not divide inheritance before his death, before Ahmed's death, the grandkids take the portion that was coming from the grandfather towards them. But these ones will not get anything because their father died before his father. Do you get my point now here? It's complicated, but if you pay attention, you'll understand. I'm giving you several different scenarios because these cases are very common in the society that we are in today. And this goes back to the issue when people delay in doing what? In dividing inheritance. Yeah, when a person is passed away, please do not delay, just divide the inheritance. Oh, you guys don't have any emotions. Oh, you guys don't have, people start using emotional blackmail. Yeah, إيش خصك يا أخي? The person is passed away, we remember him in dua, we miss him. But does it mean if I ask for my portion of the inheritance, I'm a bad person? No, I'm not. And never feel ashamed of asking for your portion of inheritance. Even if you'll be seen as the outcast of the family, it's fine. If they want to cut you off, let them cut you off. But you do not be the one cutting them off. You just tell them, I want my haqq. Let's go to the qadi and divide this. Or let's go to the sheikh and he will divide it for us. Never feel ashamed when asking for what? Your inheritance. Never. And never let anyone make you feel less of a person. Oh, you're heartless. This person just died a month ago. Hello? What are we supposed to do? Are we counting an anniversary? La. You guys are actually hurting that deceased person because you're not letting people get their haqq. The moment a person dies, pay attention here. The moment a person dies, his wealth is not his anymore. The moment the ruh is taken away, the wealth is not for that person anymore. It's for who? Who are the owners of the wealth? Even if you worked hard for even if you worked hard, the rest of your entire life that you had, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you. You worked so hard, you would wake up 4 a.m., you go to work, you have, compiled so much wealth. You have billions of shillings. The moment your soul is taken away, the moment your soul is taken away, the wealth is out of your hand. Doesn't belong to you anymore. Belongs to the ones inheriting, the heirs. Are we together here? So people should not mock others whenever they ask for the haqq. Never tell a person, oh, you are heartless, you don't care about the emotions of the family, people are still mourning and all that. Mourning is only 3 days, boss. According to the Sharia, it's only 3 days. After the 3 days, you're not allowed to mourn. You're allowed to miss that person. You're allowed to feel sadness, there's no problem. But mourning thing, yani that house, the way the person was living, the deceased person's house, the days of, they call them in Swahili, siku za matanga. Yani the mourning days are 3. After that, you have to cut it off. You have to go back to your normal life. You have to force yourself to go back to your normal life. Huh? No function after that. No function. It's not like someone was born that you do aqiqah. We don't have something of that sort. Yes. There's no khitmah. There is no, after 1 week, there's no, nothing of that sort. A person has died, you wait 3 days of mourning, people will come and and give their condolences. After the 3 days, you stop it. Even the scenario of the house has to change. Yani the ambience of the house need to change. If you had kept things a certain way, you go back to the normal thing. If people come after the 3 days, maybe they came late, it's fine. But the ambience of the house need to stop to mourn after what? 3 days, according to the Sharia. Are we together? So that means what? You can start dividing inheritance immediately. You start with paying off his debts, and then you look at what? The wasiyah, the will that is written, it's supposed to not go more than what? 1/3 of his wealth. After you have given out his debts off, you have paid off his debts. Are we together? You immediately start dividing the inheritance. Are we together here now? I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us in everything we are trying to achieve when learning this. And make us amongst those who will be a help for our families whenever they want to divide inheritance. Dawood or someone, just do adhan quickly. We have 2 more people who take 2/3, and then we have the people who take 1/3. There are only 2, but that will continue inshallah next weekend bi'idhnillah. Jazakumullah khair.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة Bismillah. Resuming quickly so that we finish the people who are supposed to inherit 2/3, okay? Altaf, go do wudu. Come back then. Wudu. Alright? Scenario. The second scenario here, we have talked about when do the agnatic daughters take 2/3. The example where they take a 2/3 is this. 3 sons daughter, 3 sons daughters, okay, and 1 full brother to the deceased, okay. All right. How would you divide this? Two-thirds. He takes al-baqi, residue. Okay? Mas'ala is from what? 3. They get 2 portions and he gets 1 portion. If it's 15 million, what do? 10 and 5. Okay? How would you divide it between the daughters? Each one of them will get 3.3333 recurring 3 million. Are we together? 3.33.3 and 3 point sorry, it's not 3 point. Yeah. It's 3,333,333.33. You get my point? A lot of threes, very much confusing. So each one of the daughters will get, granddaughters will get what? The sons of the daughters will get 3.333 million. Are we together? And then the full brother takes what? 5 million. In which scenario do they get blocked? They cannot take anything. This is very important for us to know. They are blocked when when they are exceeded by, they are blocked by a son. Just one son can be the reason they don't get the inheritance, because he is closer to the deceased person than them. Now, for example, we have Dawood here is the grandfather. We have Umar and Al-Akh Ahmed, another Ahmed, right? 2 Ahmeds. Grandfather is Dawood. Ahmed and Ahmed are the direct sons. And then Altaf is the grandson from Ahmed. Ahmed is not there, one Ahmed, let's say. The grandfather passes away. You block the, sorry, he has daughters. They are blocked if you're still alive. because you're closer to the deceased person than them. So, especially the son. So here you will say one son and two sons, daughters. How would you divide this? The son takes, or the son becomes the residuary, asaba. Okay, he takes everything, and these ones become mahjubin. We write mim, excluded. Mahjub, yani mahjub by the son. They are exceeded or blocked by the son. So this one, the son's daughters get nothing, and the son will get what? Ain, everything. So if it's 15 million, he takes the whole 15 million and they get 0. Now, because this son will be ammi to them, right? If he wants to gift them, he can. Because as your as your brother's kids, children, they are like your children. Unfortunately, we have these days where ammi, the uncles, don't even care about the kids of his own brothers. They're living a very tough life, and the ammi is living a very good life. Perhaps he's a good income, but he's never looking after his own brother's children, whom the brother has passed away. Do you understand? That's the sad state we are in. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to make us amongst such people. The third person who is supposed to be given, we've done A, B, right? Now we quickly go to C. C, the third person who is supposed to be given 2/3 is multiple full sisters. Multiple what? Full sisters. So, multiple full sisters. Write this thing, which is very important. 2 or more full sisters take 2/3 if Allah musta'an, if the deceased leaves no children. Leaves no what? Allah, my device is messing me up. Leaves no children or grandchildren father, grandfather, or brothers. You see the fact that I've mentioned all of these people, meaning if there is one of these people, they don't get the 2/3. They might either be excluded completely, or they go from being given 2/3 to residuaries. The only time they go to becoming residuaries is when there is a brother. Do you understand? They can't get that 2/3 because there's someone on the same level as them still alive. So if the brother is there, they become who? Residuaries. Are we together? Clearly understood? But if the deceased left back children or grandchildren or a father or a grandfather, they become completely excluded. So for example, let's give quick examples. When at the time when they are supposed to be given the 2/3, we start with that. We say, let's say they have there is 2 full sisters and one paternal uncle. Two full sisters and who? One paternal uncle. How do you divide this? Amongst these people, did I mention any paternal uncles here? No. There is what? Children? Grandchildren? There is children, grandchildren, father, grandfather, or what? Brother. There's no way I've mentioned what? Uncles. So now, this uncle, this paternal uncle, does not seclude them or reduce their amount. Are we together here? So they get what? 2/3, and he becomes a what? Asaba, residuary. He takes the rest. So if it's 15 million, 10, 5, and you've finished everything. So 2/3 are residuary. Mas'ala is from 3 to 1, 10 million, 5 million. Khalas. Understood? A scenario when they become blocked by who? Let's say, give an example, they become blocked by the father. If the father of the deceased person is alive, the brothers and sisters are... Do you get my point? If the mother is alive, they get. Remind you, I did not say the mother. I did not say parents. I said what? If the father is there or the grandfather. Are we together? Because if there are several brothers and the mother is alive, the father has passed away, the mother is given what? A 1/6. And then the rest is divided amongst them the way it will be shown in the next class, inshallah. So here let's say there is a father and 2 full sisters. Father, 2 full sisters. The father takes everything, they become mahjubin. They have 0, the father takes everything. If it's 15 million, he takes everything and they get 0. Are we together? The last one is al-jam min al-akhawat al-li'ab. This one, we could finish it, but it's time. I want to refresh myself and do a bit of wudu and then come for salah. We have almost finished 2/3. It's just one person remaining, the paternal sisters. If there are multiple paternal sisters, they're also given 2/3 based on the scenario. That is, if there's no father, there's no grandfather, there's no full siblings like sisters, they get secluded if the full sisters are there. Because they're the sisters from the father's side. The closest person to the deceased person is what? The one whom they are sharing the same father and the same mother. So if, let's say, a person dies and has so many brothers and sisters, the strongest brothers and sisters who are supposed to be given the heads up in being the inheritors, okay, the heirs I mean, are the siblings whom they share the same father and the same mother. Then comes the same father. The siblings whom they share only the mother, they're supposed to be given 1/3, and we'll come and explain to it in the next class, inshallah. Tamam? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.